Hi, I'm Marino, creator of the Awaken Wellness Now blog. Your ability to break your stress cycle and to stop feeling overwhelmed depends on your ability to actually recognize the state that you're in and to take action to break that cycle. So the last couple of weeks, I've had a lot going on and I've definitely felt more stressed and overwhelmed at times. So I sat down with two of my tools that I use all the time with my clients, and it made such a huge difference. So today I'm going to discuss two great tips to stop being overwhelmed. So like I said, not going to lie, the last 2 weeks I've had a lot on my plate, felt more stressed, more overwhelmed, and I got to the point where it really was stopping me from functioning properly. And I said, okay, I got to sit down and practice what I preach and use the tools that I use for my clients. And it just made an amazing difference. And I'm going to give you two tools, but now these two great tips are really like 7 great tips because each one is packed. The first one has 3 tips. The second one has 4 tips. So the first one, and I've talked about it before, I think recently, probably in the last 6 weeks, but it made such a big difference for myself this week, and it does for my clients as well, is the 3R system. Now the 3 R's is to recognize, to reframe, and to reset. Now, the first one is recognize. So it's to become aware of the state that you're in, to actually recognize that you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, and you need something, you need to change something to come out of that stress cycle. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh said, awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. And Robin Sharma said, awareness precedes change. So one of the first things to do in that first R is recognize, is to become aware of the state that you're in, is to actually recognize that you're in a stress cycle, that you feel overwhelmed and that you have to take action to break that cycle. Now the second R is to reframe your thoughts. Viktor Frankl said, and I'm going to paraphrase this, everything can be taken from a person, but the last of human freedoms is to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. So now that is to consciously focus on having a positive attitude, because when we're stressed and we're overwhelmed, it's very easy to get caught in a negative mindset loop. And it's very hard to break that loop. But first, it's recognizing that you're in that loop, and it's to consciously decide to have a positive, constructive attitude with the way you look at things through your life and what you're going through. Now, that third R is to reset your mindset. Now, Steve Maraboli said, once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. The key is to be able to change that mindset. And it's very hard to change your mindset just by using your own thoughts. It's an anonymous quote, I believe, and they said, changing your thoughts with your thoughts is like trying to grab fog. So we need something physical to help us to change our mindset or to break that cycle. Sometimes it's just taking 3 deep breaths and relaxing and focusing only on your breath. Or let's say you're in a stressful or overwhelming situation. 1, take those 3 deep breaths. 2, you can go outside, step away from the situation. 3, exercise, go for a workout. Go for a walk, whatever it is that makes you feel better in that moment to help you break that cycle. A physical activity will help change your mindset more than just thinking about your mindset. So the first great tip was the 3 R's. That was recognize your state, reframe your thoughts, and to reset your mindset. So that was really 3 great tips in the 1 great tip, wasn't it? So my second great tip is the 4M mindset method. And that's going to allow you to actually sit down and write something down to help you break this cycle of stress, to help you stop being overwhelmed. So the first M is to make the choice, not make a choice. Make a choice is like getting a cup of coffee. Making the choice is choosing to have a positive, constructive attitude and choosing that you're going to break the stress cycle that you're in and to stop being overwhelmed. Now the second M is to make a list. You're going to make actually 3 lists. I want you to sit down and prioritize. First list is, what do I have to do today and tomorrow to help break the overwhelm that I'm in and to help break the stress cycle? Because usually the stress comes when we're overwhelmed by all the things that are coming at us and we're not sure what to do first. So we kind of shut down because we're too overwhelmed. So you're going to make a list. The first list is going to be to prioritize the actions that you need to take today and tomorrow to get the things done that you need to do. The second list is what things can you push off to that 48 to 72 hours that you can do later on that may be on your plate right now but are overwhelming you. So when you make that second list, you can say, what can I push off to 3 days from now? What can I push off to next week? And then that will be moved up to what you have to do from 24 to 48 hours, but that will be later. That will help decrease your stress because it helps for you to prioritize in your mind what needs to be done now, what needs to be done tomorrow, what needs to be done the next day, what needs to become next week and next month. So the third list, and this is an important list, is to write down the things that you have no control over, but you seem to be having a lot of stress about and are overwhelmed by. Write them out, because if you write them out, it makes such a big difference, because then it goes from your head down to the paper. And it helps you to focus on those things. Focus on those things that you have no control over, but yet you're stressing over. Then what you're going to do with this list is to actively cross out that list. And you can go right down that list and cross out each thing on that list. And that will mentally help you to reset and decrease the amount of overwhelm that you're having about those things. And give yourself permission to let go of the things that you have no control over. So the third M is to make a plan. This is when you write out the things that you need to do, even if it's what you need to do in the next hour. Then it's today, what do I need to do? Then it's tomorrow, what do I need to do? To check off the things on your list that you have prioritized as things that you need to get done. This will help decrease your stress because now you'll have listed out everything that you need to do to get it done. Now the fourth M, and it's one of the most important, is to make a schedule. Because if you don't schedule out the time to do the actions that you've planned out to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, it'll never get done. Some people would say if it's not scheduled, it doesn't exist. So that's the 4 M's. It's to make a choice. It's to make the list, your 3 lists, prioritizing what needs to be done now, then pushing off what needs to be done later, then crossing off the things that you have no control over. The third M is to make a plan. And then the fourth M is to make a schedule. So really that second great tip was really 4 more great tips. So you had 7 tips in all. Now for me, with the more stress and overwhelm that I had in the past 2 weeks, when I sat down with my 3 R's and my 4M mindset method, and I wrote everything out, it made an amazing difference. I went into the next day and my next week knowing what I needed to do, which immediately reduced my stress. And also I thought about all of the things that I had no control over, and I gave myself permission to let those go. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in this stress cycle and you're just overwhelmed with everything that's going on, that you got too much on your plate, try my 2 methods, the 3 R's and my 4M mindset method. And I guarantee you'll see a difference almost immediately. Well, I hope you like this information. If you see my video anywhere other than my blog, go check my blog out at awakenyourwellnessnow.com/blog. Have a great day, and as always, be positive, be motivated, be focused, and be well.